voices matter and that we can do politics differently.
But Mr. Scheer, when asked why you're spreading false information about your opponents, like among other false statements saying the Liberals will decriminalize hard drugs and saying the Liberals and NDP will raise GST, when they say that's a lie, you can't draw conclusions where the hard facts don't back up what you're saying. So you've explained your reasoning to Canadians. My question to you this morning is, how do you explain to your 5 children, from toddler to teenage, that it is okay to lead a dirty campaign based on information that is not entirely true and constant attacks on your opponents?
Well, of course I reject the premise of that question.
I think many of us regret the tone and the divisiveness and the disinformation that were all too present features of this past election campaign. I think Canadians expect us to work together, to listen to each other, to figure out a way to move forward that isn't as divisive and challenging as this election was. I think there were a lot of issues that weren't properly addressed. I think there were big substantive ideas that weren't fully debated in this election campaign, and I regret that, and I recognize that much of this campaign tended to be around me, and I do hold a bit of responsibility for that. But this Parliament and this government will be and needs to be focused on Canadians. And that means we need to work together. We need to listen to each other. We need to figure out the right path forward for every part of the country. And that is something that I am committed to doing.
In light of the results of last night's federal election, I'm calling for a new deal with Canada. In Saskatchewan, we had 14 of 14 seats that were won by the Conservative Party. We have no representation in this minority Liberal government, a government that has no clear mandate, a government that will either be propped up by a party that does not want to expand the mining sector, the agriculture sector, the energy sector in this province, or be propped up by a party that ultimately does not want to be part of this nation. So I heard the Prime Minister's speech last night. I heard his speech where he had referenced that he has heard the people of Alberta and Saskatchewan, and he wants to support the people of Alberta and Saskatchewan. He can support them by supporting a new deal that includes a cancelling of the carbon tax, a deal that would restructure the equalization formula so that it is fair to all provinces, including Saskatchewan and Alberta, and a new deal that would allow us to get our products to market. If the Prime Minister of this nation is truly supportive of the people in this province, he will reach out and talk to us about a new deal with Canada.
Fairness and respect. Okay, that's Maxime Bernier responding to the loss of his own seat in the Beauce tonight and an extremely bad performance on the part of the People's Party of Canada. He was saying that this was the beginning of a conversation, that they will continue to hold the government in check. Very hard to see how you do that, given that you haven't even elected your own seat. You've elected no other MPs, and the candidates that you did manage to find have now lost all of their deposits, so they may not be thrilled with you or want to work for you anymore. So we'll see whether the Conservatives want to reach out to them. But I'm not sure that that party has much of a future. I'm going to Ian now with some results.
Well, let's take
This is a real nightmare for the communist government in Beijing. They can either crush Hong Kong or they can tolerate being defied in a way that undermines everything about their whole structure of government. A few weeks ago, nobody seriously thought we could see another Tiananmen Square in Hong Kong. Now, you can't rule it out. Hong Kong, for all its woes, is still a very rich world financial centre. To roll troops into that kind of a financial centre would be an economic catastrophe.